Hello and welcome to the Daily Brown Bag. Today we're going to be talking about the ROI of SEO. I'm Chad Hill and I'm joined by Adam Stetzer.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thanks, Chad. Welcome to the Brown Bag. Today we're talking about a piece on search engine land that was written by David Waterman yesterday. And Chad, this thing has really kicked up a lot of dust. It's pretty interesting. It's entitled SEO Should Not Be Held to an ROI Target. And just from that title, you can tell it's fairly provocative. And what Waterman is saying here is he said that SEO should not be required to meet a specific ROI target because two major points to his argument. One, it's not a marketing channel per se, and I'm going to explore that in a second. And secondly, it's not an investment, it's a requirement. And Chad, I might ask you to talk a little bit about his thoughts there. So as you can imagine, the author got quite a lot of responses taking issue with this position that SEO is not a marketing channel, that it shouldn't be held to an ROI target, saying that SEO isn't an investment. But let me explore a little bit of some of his argument on why he said it's not a marketing channel in the traditional way that we would define that. And I think this is kind of interesting, Chad. He said that because organic search, and particularly Google, with the lion's share of the market there, is trying to provide the best match to search queries, that's not really a marketing function. It shouldn't be seen as a marketing channel because it's more of an informational matching function. Another way he puts it, that SEO is this sort of layers of checks and balances that helps a business owner understand if their website has, and if that is identified by the search engines and then manifest in the search results. Again, achieving those things not being akin to traditional marketing activities. And the last point he makes here in saying this is not a traditional marketing channel is that it's just such a layer of different parts and pieces to make SEO work together. It's not a standalone marketing channel in the way we would think about it. It's a very integrative activity, and that furthers his argument that we just shouldn't label this a traditional marketing channel.
Yeah, and I think his second point really was that SEO is required. It's not an investment, and that everything is tied to the organic health of your website. He also says that he compares SEO to a residential building inspector, where you have to it's required to essentially maintain your website, and it's again much like required for your online brand integrity. And I don't think I really know anyone that would probably argue that SEO isn't required, because we all know the power of the referral traffic that you can get from search engines. So most people all agree SEO is required. But I think there are quite a few people, and many of the commenters did challenge him on whether or not it should be held to an ROI target, because after all, it really, most anything in a business has some level of an ROI target, or at least some metric that we're using to measure the financial impact of the business, whether it's saving costs or whether it's driving more revenue. So in that particular case, if you think about that, even building a website in many cases is held to an ROI target. When you build a website, you say that we're going to convert more traffic, therefore it will drive more revenue to the business. Another one basically talked about, again, everything in business ultimately does have a goal. So I think that really what Waterman was talking about, and one of the points he made that was interesting, is that maybe it's not so much that it's time to challenge our old SEO thinking, and this is where it gets kind of really interesting, and really think more in line with the way Google sees SEO. And of course, we all know that in all the Webmaster Guideline videos that are put out, SEO and the practice SEO is really more of this altruistic publishing great content that the internet will benefit from, but it's not about getting traffic to your website that converts into revenue for your business. And I think it's interesting that Waterman brings that up, because again, most marketers would really disagree with that, and I think we would as well, because again, we here at HubShout are very much more in the camp where we would look at having measurements on as many things in your business is a smart way to do your business. So the final thing is, then, how do we measure SEO here at HubShout? The four things that we always talk to customers about are looking at your organic traffic and whether or not that's going up or down over time as you're working on content marketing and working on search engine optimization. The other thing we look at are rankings. So I know, again, now that's difficult, but there are places to get that in Webmaster Tools, there are third-party products that provide ranking data and even show you how that's changing over time. Even Google provides this information to webmasters. Another one is entrances. How broad is your website? How many pages are receiving organic referrals? But then the one that it always sort of ties back to and is the most important is, what about leads? What about revenue to your business? And I think that's the really important one for a lot of people. The way that we deal with that often is we look at the value of the services that you're paying and try to equate the leads you're getting from organic SEO to sort of back into a cost per lead from your SEO investment. And again, that's really what, at the end of the day, most of our clients, when you ask them what they really care about, they care about phone calls, they care about web leads. And so if you don't have that in the equation, I think many of them are just going to skip this, required, but in their minds probably optional investment because it doesn't speak dollars and cents to them. So Adam, what do you think?
Well, I think it's an interesting issue, and I think it's fascinating, Chad. We've heard similar discussions evolving around social media. First, everyone charged out and said it was a silver bullet, and then they realized it was quite hard to show ROI, and recently we've been hearing people say, yeah, forget searching for return on investment and just assume you have to do it. But I wonder, as I was listening to you talk, Chad, that if in the end the answer isn't both and that they're not mutually exclusive. Yes, SEO has become so important that it is required, and no, it is not a typical marketing channel, but that doesn't mean it's not part of marketing. And in the end, even things that are very required for business, such as real estate and other basic parts of your sunk cost, still ultimately you want to measure is the return and where's the money going, and are you cost per buck? So I wonder if this is a controversial way to come to the answer that it really all of the above. But we'd be interested in your comments on whether search engine optimization should be held to rigid return on investment metrics and criteria. Drop us a comment. We'd love to hear from you, and we hope you'll subscribe. So we'll see you back at another Brown Bag real soon.